Emma had always believed in love and in second chances. When she first met Daniel Richardson, he was a man with big dreams and empty pockets. But there was a fire in his eyes that made her believe he could conquer the world. Back then, they were both struggling, juggling multiple jobs, living paycheck to paycheck in a cramped apartment, and praying for better days. She remembered their early mornings together, Daniel fixing breakfast while Emma grabbed her worn-out briefcase, the quiet moments before the chaos of the day set in. She stood by him through thick and thin, supporting his small business as it teetered on the edge of collapse more than once. She had believed their love was the glue that held their fragile dreams together. For 7 years, they had built their life on trust, sacrifice, and hope. But everything changed the day Daniel inherited $33 million from his estranged father's estate. The news came like a thunderclap. Emma sat in their modest kitchen, the morning light spilling over the cracked linoleum floor, when Daniel burst in waving a letter. I can't believe it, he said, voice shaking. My dad left me everything, $33 million. Emma's heart leapt. She smiled, imagining the future they could finally have, owning a home, starting a family, chasing dreams together without fear. But Daniel's smile was different now. It was cold, distant. That night at dinner, the change was undeniable. Daniel picked at his food, eyes flickering with something Emma didn't recognize. I'm done struggling, he said abruptly. All those years, and for what? You worked yourself to the bone for nothing. Emma blinked, stunned. What do you mean? He looked up, sharp and cutting. You were useless. You held me back. The words hit her like a punch to the stomach. Daniel, I stood by you. I believed in you. He laughed, bitter and cruel. Believed in me? You were just dead weight. Now I'm free, and I don't need you anymore. The next morning, he handed her a suitcase. I'm done. Daniel, please. Her voice cracked, but he was already shutting the door. Emma stood on the porch, suitcase in hand, the crisp autumn air swirling around her, cold as the emptiness in her chest. She was thrown out of the life she'd helped build, called useless by the man she loved. But as the door slammed, a quiet flame sparked inside her. She wasn't done yet. Emma sat quietly in Sophie's office, the soft hum of the air conditioner and the steady tick of the clock, the only sounds breaking the silence. Papers were strewn across the desk, financial records, legal documents, and a thick envelope marked Last Will and Testament. Sophie looked up, her eyes sharp, yet compassionate. Daniel didn't think you'd fight back, she said, flipping through the will. He assumed you'd disappear without a word. Emma clenched her fists beneath the table. He was wrong. For years, Emma had been the silent backbone of Daniel's struggling business. She remembered late nights balancing the books, covering for missing funds, and managing crises. When Daniel was overwhelmed, she thought back to the winter when the business almost went under. Flashback. Daniel sat at the edge of their sofa, head in his hands. Bills piled around him. I don't know how we'll pay the suppliers, he muttered. Emma handed him a coffee, forcing a smile. We'll find a way, she said. Remember that investor call I scheduled? They're still interested. Daniel looked up, hope flickering. I couldn't have done any of this without you. Back in Sophie's office, Emma watched as her lawyer scanned every line of the will. See this? Sophie pointed to a hidden clause near the end. Inheritance shall be granted to the sole heir only upon the condition that all legal and marital obligations are upheld at the time of inheritance. Emma frowned. What does that mean exactly? Sophie leaned back, thoughtful. It means Daniel has to honor all the commitments he had when his father passed away. If he tried to cut you out or throw you away immediately, that could be a breach. Emma's heart raced. Can we use this? Sophie smiled grimly. We can, and we will. They started building their case, gathering proof of Emma's contributions, retracing marital assets, and documenting Daniel's sudden cutoff. Emails, receipts, voice messages, each piece a nail in Daniel's arrogant coffin. That night, Emma sat alone in her small apartment, staring at her reflection in the dark window. The pain was still fresh, but beneath it, a new strength was growing. She was no longer the useless wife Daniel claimed she was. She was the woman who saved their business, the woman who stood up when no one else would, and soon she'd make sure the world saw it too. The courthouse loomed tall and cold, its marble steps gleaming under the harsh midday sun. Emma's heels clicked sharply as she walked up the stairs, her posture straight, face calm but fierce. Behind her, Sophie carried a thick folder, the weapon they'd wield in the battle ahead. Inside, Daniel lounged arrogantly, draped in designer fabric and entitlement. His smug smile was as sharp as the suit he wore, his eyes glinting with confidence. But today, that confidence was about to shatter. The courtroom filled quickly. Reporters, legal teams, even strangers drawn by the promise of scandal. Cameras flashed as Emma took her seat. No longer the woman discarded on a porch. Sophie stood first to speak, her voice steady and commanding. "Your Honor, we are here to prove that Daniel Richardson unlawfully attempted to deny Mrs. Emma Richardson her rightful share of his inheritance, violating not only marital law, but the conditions set forth in Mr. Richardson's will." The judge nodded, eyes sharp. Daniel sneered, leaning into his microphone. "She's after my money, nothing more." Emma's lips pressed into a thin line, but her eyes burned with quiet fury. Sophie called the first witness, Emma herself. She recounted the years of sacrifice, the nights balancing books, the time she nursed Daniel's mother back to health, the business saved from ruin by her relentless efforts. Daniel scoffed, but the courtroom heard the truth. Next, Sophie presented the will. She read aloud the crucial clause. The inheritance is contingent upon honoring all legal and marital obligations at the time of inheritance. The judge's gaze flicked to Daniel. Sophie then laid out the evidence, emails where Daniel cut Emma off from joint accounts immediately, financial records showing assets moved without consent, and recorded messages proving Emma's indispensable role. Daniel's arrogant mask cracked. His lawyers scrambled for objections, but Sophie was relentless. When the judge finally ruled, the courtroom held its breath. In light of the evidence presented, this court finds that Mr. Richardson breached the terms of the inheritance by attempting to exclude Mrs. Richardson unlawfully. Accordingly, Mrs. Richardson awarded 50% of the $33 million inheritance, plus damages for emotional distress and financial disruption. A stunned silence fell. Daniel's face drained of color. Emma exhaled deeply, relief and triumph washing over her. Later, as the courtroom emptied, Daniel approached Emma, eyes desperate. "I was wrong. I never meant to hurt you." Emma looked at him, not with pity, but with the strength born of survival. "You called me useless. You threw me out like garbage. That's not something you fix with words." She turned and walked away. Months later, Emma stood at the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the M Foundation, a charity she founded to support women rebuilding their lives after betrayal. Reporters asked about her victory. She smiled, steady and sure. It's not about revenge. It's about justice, about knowing your worth no matter what anyone tells you. Daniel watched from afar, his empire crumbling, while Emma's legacy was just beginning.